He told people to love the very ones who wanted them dead, and it changed the world. Around 30 AD in Judea, a man stood on a hillside teaching, and he said something that made no sense to anyone listening. You've heard it said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies. Pray for those who hurt you. Do good to those who hate you. The crowd was confused. That's not how the world works. You love friends. You fight enemies. That's survival. That's justice. That's common sense. But Jesus was teaching something different. Something that sounded weak, sounded foolish, sounded impossible. But 2,000 years later, it's still the most powerful idea for breaking cycles of hatred and violence. Not because it's nice, because it's strategic, because it works, because loving your enemies doesn't make you weak. It makes you free, and it makes them powerless over you. Here's why most people stay trapped in cycles of hate and revenge. They think treating enemies like enemies is strength. You hurt me, I hurt you back. You hate me, I hate you more. An eye for an eye, that feels like justice. Feels like strength. Feels like self-respect. But what it actually does is chain you to your enemy forever. Every time you seek revenge, you give them more power over you, more control over your emotions, more influence over your actions. You think you're fighting them, but you've just made them the center of your life. Your enemy now controls you through your hatred. That's not strength, that's slavery. Jesus saw this pattern everywhere. The Romans oppressed the Jews. The Jews hated the Romans. That hatred defined them, controlled them, made them bitter and violent and self-destructive. And nothing changed. The Romans stayed in power. The Jews stayed angry. The cycle continued, and everyone suffered, not just from the oppression, from the hatred, from the consuming need for revenge that poisoned everything. So Jesus taught something radical. Break the cycle. Love your enemies, not because they deserve it, not because it's fair, but because it's the only way to be free. When you love your enemy, you're not controlled by them anymore. They can hate you, attack you, try to destroy you, but they can't make you hate, can't make you bitter, can't make you become like them. You've broken their power over you by refusing to play the revenge game. This isn't passive. This isn't weak. This is the strongest thing you can do, because anyone can hate. Anyone can seek revenge. That's easy. That's what animals do. But to be attacked and respond with love, to be hurt and refuse to become hateful, that takes strength most people don't have. That's mastery. Not over your enemy, over yourself. And self-mastery is real power. Jesus explained it like this. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. If you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that? Even sinners do that. But love your enemies, do good to them, and you'll be acting like sons of the Most High, because He is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. What's He saying? That loving friends is easy. Everyone does that. But loving enemies, that's divine. That's transformative. That's what changes everything. Not just in the other person. In you. Because when you can love someone who hates you, you've transcended the basic human program of tit for tat. You've become free from the need to be right, to get even, to win. And that freedom is more valuable than any revenge could ever be. There's this moment in Jesus' life that proves this. He's being crucified, nailed to a cross, dying slowly and painfully. And what does He say? Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. He's not cursing them, not calling for revenge, not promising they'll pay. He's forgiving them, while they're actively killing Him. That's not weakness. That's power beyond comprehension. Because in that moment, they have zero power over his spirit. They can kill his body, but they can't make him hate. Can't make him bitter. Can't make him less than who he is. He's free, even while dying, because he refused to let them control him through hatred. Now let's talk about why this matters for you. Because you have enemies. Maybe not people trying to kill you, but people who've hurt you, betrayed you, wronged you, and you probably hate them, or at least resent them. And that hatred is controlling you more than you realize. You think about them, replay what they did, fantasize about them suffering, plan your revenge or withdrawal, and all of that is them controlling you. They're living rent-free in your head, directing your emotions, influencing your decisions, all through your hatred of them. Jesus is offering you a way out. Love them, not because they deserve it, because you deserve to be free. When you love your enemy, you take away their power over you. They can't hurt you anymore because you've chosen not to hate in response. They can't control you anymore because you've broken the chain of revenge. You're free, and freedom is worth more than revenge will ever be. But how do you actually do this? How do you love someone who hurt you? Jesus gives specific instructions. Pray for them. Do good to them if you have the chance. Don't seek revenge. Don't wish them harm. See them as broken humans doing the best they can with whatever damage they carry. Just like you're a broken human doing your best. This doesn't mean trust them. Doesn't mean let them keep hurting you. You can set boundaries. You can protect yourself. You can remove them from your life. But you do it without hatred, without the need for revenge. You do it calmly, strategically, from a place of strength, not reactivity. That's the difference. Hatred makes you reactive. Love makes you strategic. Here's the practice. Think of someone who hurt you, someone you hate or resent. Now try this. Pray for them. Or, if you don't pray, just wish them well in your mind. Hope they find peace. Hope they heal from whatever made them hurt you. This will feel wrong. Feel like betrayal. Feel like letting them win. But do it anyway. Just for a moment. Wish them well. And notice what happens in you. You'll probably feel lighter. Less tense. Because you've just broken the chain. Just for a moment. That person no longer controls your internal state. You've taken back power. Do this daily. Every time you think of them with hatred, catch yourself. Shift to wishing them well. It gets easier. And over time, the hatred loses its grip. You become free. Not because they changed, because you did. You broke the cycle. You loved your enemy. And in doing so, you freed yourself. Jesus also taught that loving enemies is contagious. When you respond to hate with love, something shifts in the other person. Not always, not immediately, but sometimes. Because nobody expects it, nobody knows how to handle it. Hate expects hate. Violence expects violence, but love. That confuses the program, makes people question, makes them reconsider. Sometimes it changes them. Sometimes it doesn't. But it always changes you, makes you stronger, freer, more at peace. The Roman Empire tried to crush Christianity through persecution, killed Christians by the thousands. And what did the Christians do? They loved their persecutors, prayed for them, forgave them, and that love was more powerful than the violence. It confused the Romans, impressed them, converted some of them, and eventually, the empire that tried to destroy Christianity became Christian. Not through force. Through love, responding to hate. That's the power Jesus was teaching. Strategic, transformative, unstoppable. You're not going to change empires, but you can change your life. by refusing to be controlled by hatred, by loving the people who hurt you, not for them, for you, because that love sets you free, free from bitterness, free from the need for revenge, free from being defined by what they did to you. You become more than their victim. You become someone who can love even enemies, and that strength nothing can touch. Jesus taught the most radical idea in human history, and it still works. Not because it's religious, because it's true. Hatred chains you to your enemy. Love sets you free. Revenge keeps the cycle going. Forgiveness breaks it. The question is, are you strong enough to love your enemies? Or will you stay trapped by hating them? Subscribe for more truth that transforms.